I now give the floor to the representative of the Russian Federation.
Madam President, we are grateful to the Special Representative of the Secretary General, Mr. Volker Perthes, for the information he provided about the situation in Sudan as it develops. We also welcome the participation in this meeting today of the new representative of Sudan, Mr. Al-Harith Mohammed. We read the most recent quarterly report on the country and the work that's being done there by the UN Transition Assistance Mission. The situation in Sudan remains challenging. The country is in the throes of a political crisis. The Sudanese street continues being feverish. And this situation is also compounded by the suspension of a considerable part of the donor assistance, which resulted in humanitarian and socioeconomic challenges. We fully support what is being done by the government of Sudan against this background. They make efforts to stabilize the situation and build a constructive national dialogue. It is principally important to note that the authorities continue reaffirming their commitment to the Juba peace agreement and declare their intent to conduct general elections in July 2023. We note that this work is already bearing fruit, given that there is a dropping number of protests in the capital. At the same time, we are seriously concerned by the fact that the radicals continue retaining influence in the country. They reject the idea of any kind of dialogue with the government, including a dialogue through mediation. We expect that what was established in March, namely the trilateral coordination mechanism between UN, AU, and IGAD, in order to help with the inter-Sudanese dialogue, will help resolve this issue. We remain convinced that the people of Sudan can, on their own, resolve their issues through national dialogue. We hope that this process will be inclusive in nature, that all political forces in the country will participate in this, those which have genuine support of the people of Sudan. We call upon the special political mission and you personally, Mr. Perthes, to strictly follow your mandate and pay equal attention to all of its components. What it requires particular attention is helping mobilize international financial and donor assistance so as to support the transitional institutions, the economy and social sphere to implement the Juba peace agreement and tackle the issues of the internally displaced and refugees. These are the things that are not to be left for later. Those are exactly the goals that you were entrusted with when the mission was created. We also know that it's unacceptable to use blackmail when assisting the economic development and implementing the Juba peace agreement. This is unfair and inhumane vis-a-vis the Sudanese, regardless which part of the country they're in. Madam President, the recent outbursts of intercommunal clashes in Darfur are worrying. At the same time, we note that the government of Sudan is undertaking measures to react to the situation in line with their capacities and their own resources. In the recent months, in the West and South Kordofan, deputy governors were appointed. There's also certain progress achieved in standing up in the region of the Joint Security Keeping Forces and in the work of the Permanent Ceasefire Committee. We are convinced that under current circumstances, it is important to make sure that there's a balanced stance as regards the events in the country, and this applies especially to the UN. We note with regret that the reports provided by the UN Secretariat remains politicized. What needs to be borne in mind is the features of the Sudanese political culture and also the irreversible political changes that took place in the country. In the very near future, the Security Council will have to work on the resolution on the extension of the UNITAMs. We are categorically against using this document so as to exert a political pressure on the Sudanese authorities and imposing on them questionable schemes and democratizing patterns which were developed in the countries located on other continents. Sudan is a country with a very rich political, multi-ethnic, cultural, religious, past and present, and its citizens can, and most importantly must, find their own solutions to problems. UN assistance should be based on the respect for the host country's opinion in the spirit of cooperation and genuine intent to effectively help the people of Sudan. I thank you for your attention.
I thank the representative of the Russian Federation for their statement.